I sincerely hate Donald Trump. It is what it is. But, you know, either we have a constitution that we're going to follow or we don't.
Hello, my friends, and thank you for being here today with me. I'm so glad you could be here. This is the Dave Show, where we give you a little bit of news, a little bit of nuts, and a whole lot of liberal crazy. So let's jump right in. Let's do it. News and nuts. News and nuts. Hey, it's news and nuts. Yesterday was a pretty big win for President Trump in signing the deal with the UK, and the tariffs are working, and this is proof of the negotiation tool that the tariffs were meant to be. So that's really good news. Now, a question was asked to President Trump about the FAA and the state of their functionality. Are they up to speed? Are they modernized? What can be done to help make them more efficient? So take a look. This is pretty interesting. It's good. It's good news.
Can I ask you about the air traffic control issue? Are you looking at getting new software, new equipment?
I'm glad you asked me about it, because I'm just going to be talking to now the heads of the airlines and everything else. So I was all set before we had the rigged election to give out a brand new gorgeous system to one company that was going to do the whole thing, one of the best companies in the world that you know very well. You know, there are 3 or 4 of them that do it. And when they took over, Buttigieg, who has no clue, he drives to work on his bicycle with his, in all fairness, with his husband on the back, which is a nice, loving relationship. But he didn't have a clue. This guy didn't have a clue. And he's actually a contender for president. Between him and Crockett, you can have that party. But he didn't know what he was doing.
It is quite shocking that some of the computer systems in the FAA were still using floppy disks. Hello, 1980s. But I'm glad that they're starting to do something about it. I hope the Doge team can get in there and really modernize the systems and just make everything more safe, because safety is #1 priority. And speaking of safety, Veritas just dropped a bombshell yesterday talking about Prince Andrew and this whole Epstein files debacle mess. This is going to get, if they actually release the actual files from Epstein, they're not going to release the videos, I don't think. But this is going to bring a lot of people down, I think. Anyways, this clip, it's a shortened clip from this video from Veritas. And anyways, it's an undercover. Well, you know what Veritas is all about. They do undercover work, and they get people to say things they normally wouldn't say, because they don't know that they're being videotaped. Anyways, the full video is on my X account at IdleHandsDave if you want to go check that out. But this is basically the gist of it. So take a look. Prince Andrew is he's in trouble.
In 2014, a woman named Virginia Giuffre alleged in a Florida court filing that Jeffrey Epstein paid her to have sex with Prince Andrew when she was 17, a minor. On April 25th, a few weeks ago, Giuffre died by, quote, suicide. Prince Andrew denied Giuffre's sex abuse allegations in a now infamous 2019 BBC interview.
She said she had sex with you 3 times, once on his private island in a group of 7 or 8 other girls.
No.
No to all of it?
All of it. Absolutely no to all of it.
Prince Andrew, he was in the Navy. He was 250 days at sea. He never saw his kid. I was really pissed because he lied to me. Epstein. And then I did a big thing in the Daily Mail saying that I believed Andrew. And then I found out he was lying. I was so pissed. No, that he was f***ing underage girls. That's not cool.
Absolutely no to all of it.
O'Keefe does some really excellent work there at Veritas with these undercover, I don't even know if you call them stings, but he does good work. So I hope that he can keep shedding light into the dark corners and dank recesses of government and all this world of the elites, right? So there's a lot of good work still to be done. So keep it up, my friend. Keep it up. Speaking of good work, the Colombia, they're not riots, not yet at least, but the anti-American pro-Hamas protesters are at it again in full force a couple days ago. But good news is that President Trump is in charge, and this is not the Biden administration anymore. And these protesters are quickly learning the difference. So this is, I believe, a couple nights ago now that I'm filming this in the evening. So take a look.
Back up! Get out of the street! Back up! Back up! Back up! Get out of the street! Back up! 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 Go get my shoe, man! You're breaking my...
What's your name? What's your
Don't
name?
move! Hey, back up! Back up! Back up, please.
So as you just witnessed, the police force is actually arresting people. Now, I don't know if they're going to be prosecuted. Probably not. Not yet. I don't know. That needs to change. But at least they're taking steps forward. But that was in the evening, and this was in the morning. Check it out.
Oh, shit. No, it's happening.
Back up, back up, back up, back up.
Media, we're gonna have to move again.
In the morning, the NYPD was out in full force to start taking care of some of these protesters and tamp down the absolute madness that these brainwashed students, most of them young women, are creating in the library and on the campus. And of course, they're not making the students feel safe. But yeah, so that was in the morning. Let's check out what the outcome was in the afternoon. It's pretty awesome. Check it out. The perp walk is back, baby. Now, my only nitpicky critique on this is that their faces were still covered. They need to be stripped of any kind of masks or whatever so that we can get a beautiful HD view of their mug so that everybody knows exactly who they are. So, yeah, but good for you, NYPD. Good job. All right, my friends, that's it for the news. Now on to the nuts. This next clip is totally nuts. This police officer either has a guardian angel with him or he is the luckiest man alive. Take a look.
We're sitting in the middle of the lane of traffic. Okay. Oh my God. Chicago 3408, 1050 vehicle was just struck in the lane of traffic.
I want my fucking pickles! I've been in this line for 2 hours! 2 hours, I want the pickles! I've been here for 2 hours, where's the pickles? I ordered 5 pickles, I've been here for 2 hours.
I actually love a good pickle, a nice big cold dill pickle, nice and crunchy. Oh man, so good. But I would not be hanging around a restaurant for 2 hours to get my pickles. That would not be worth it. And I don't know what that lady was doing in the drive-thru, just standing there with bear mace. Oh my gosh, I don't know where these people come from, but they are ridiculous.
Okay, TikTok family, can someone tell me what do it mean when your tire looks like this and when you see stuff like this? I don't know what that means. It's just this one. So do this mean I got like this tire is better than this tire? Do I need to replace this tire? Or what's going on? Like, cause it's just so slim. Like, what is this? What do this mean? Is this tire bad cause this is showing? Or what is this? Like, I really need y'all help because yeah, I hit the other car. I'm trying to park closer so nobody won't hit me when they riding past. But anywho, help me, y'all, whoever know.
All right, I really don't know why that lady doesn't know that those tires are literally about to fall off of her rims. Jeez Louise. I think someone needs to go back to driving school or something. Ay, ay, ay.
If I'm so fat, then why isn't this skinny chair breaking? Explain that to me.
Well, I'm just guessing, but I think it's because it's made out of steel. And steel can bear the load, although probably just barely. All right, my friends, that is it for News and Nuts. But don't worry, we have a huge pool of liberal logic to wade through. So sit back, relax, and buckle up. We're about to enter the Lib Zone. The Democrats would have you believe that America is divided into a whole bunch of different classes like race and color and how much money you make, stuff like that. But in reality, there is only actually 2 groups of people that exist. And let me show you. Let me show you what those 2 groups are. This is a very, very simple and easy to understand breakdown of what the reality is. So check this out. This is really good. It says, America is not divided by race, color, gender, or sexual orientation. America is divided into wise people and fools. And fools divide themselves by race, color, gender, sexual orientation. So as you can see, there are really only 2 groups of people. And I think we all know which camp the Democrats and the far left fall into.
Hey guys, just coming in to say if you still support Trump,
okay,
or really ever supported Trump, you're a white supremacist and you should go fuck yourself.
I've never seen such hate in a country like America, the way they hate only one man. Americans have been spoiled.
Yes.
And they think that the more they make noise, the more they get things done. To get things done calls for what? Pragmatic assessment.
And hard work, which is something the Democrats just simply don't seem to want to put in.
On how you're going to get things done. Not this wasting of time and just protesting somebody who loves his country. In my life, I've never seen such hate in a country like America, the way they hate only one man.
Yep.
How is that possible? How can you hate one man?
Because they have TDS and they're mentally ill. I mean, there's only one solution to that question.
Just because he loves his country? What is this?
What up?
I travel all the way from Africa to come to this country legally to make sure the American dream is realized by me.
Nice. Yep.
My kids are born here, so I have
Do you mind sharing your name?
My name is Faze.
Faze, spell that.
Yes,
F-A-Z.
F-A-Y-Z.
F-A-Y-Z. Make sure you guys share this and tag people who need to hear this message and make sure this guy goes famous.
You want to know something interesting I've noticed about the modern world, mate?
Yeah,
Being
what's up?
woke is
Yeah.
not cool anymore at all. I wonder where it all went wrong. Maybe it was the destroying people's property, maybe fighting people, cutting off family members, calling everyone you don't like and disagree with a fascist or some shit. Conservative stuff used to be like the lame opinions. Oh, church, I want to have sex with people, what do you mean? But now being woke means like straight up rejecting reality. I'm in the music business, the woke is fucking industry. Good luck trying to say anything political that's not like completely left wing. Even having like a centrist opinion will make you a fucking devil. I can't remember the last time I saw someone being woke as protesting some shit, and I've gone, that's lit. Yeah, dude, that's cool. That's culture. The only problem with the woke stuff these days is the only people that are left are these crazy motherfuckers who try and hunt you down because you have bad opinions, apparently. Like, the amount of threats on my life I get in my DMs per day doesn't affect me because I'm a straight up psychopath. But if I did care and I had like a family, kids, a house, stuff to protect, and I wasn't a 23-year-old fucking artist who flies around, does random shit, I'd probably be afraid. But to be fair, I'm not really afraid of left-wing guys and girls, or they, thems, or
the projects, the benefits. How do you lead the world without having the best infrastructure in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best healthcare in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best education system in the world? How do you lead the world when you don't have that done?
Well, that was interesting. We fortunately have Doug to get some insight. He is in the green room going to respond to the clip that we just saw. Doug, can you hear me? Oh, he can't. Okay, we're going live right now, my friend. All right. Listen, hey, Doug, what are your first thoughts of the interview of, not interview, but the clip that we just saw of President Biden on The View? Okay, Doug, I hope you're feeling okay. But really, can you just give us your assessment of how Joe Biden did on The View?
That motherfucker's brain was scrambling live on television.
Yeah, he did seem to have some problems speaking there. The words just weren't forming when he was speaking. It was kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Can you clarify a little bit more on our previous conversation?
This is the shit we were talking about, where like he literally goes through aphasia and his mouth doesn't work.
Yeah, totally. I see what you're saying. Could you give us an example of what happens when these instances happen to Joe Biden?
So you got like my boy Bruce Willis Jr., aka Joe Biden.
Yeah, that's a pretty good impersonation, I think, of what happens to Joe Biden when he slips into these moments. Is there anything else going on with Joe? Any thoughts there?
Bitches speaking tongues.
Wow, I did not know that Joe Biden was very religious. You had the chance to speak to some of these people that were part of the cabinet on the inside. What are their claims of the decline or the sharpness of Joe Biden during his presidency? What are they saying?
And they're like, yeah, sharp as a tack.
Oh, they're still going with that story. Are there any other pearls that they're clutching to?
Never saw any decline. Nope.
Well, that wraps up this segment with Doug. Doug, yes, we just thank you. Yes, thank you very much for all of your hard work that you put in, and we'll see you next time, okay? All right, stay safe, my friend. All right, in this next clip, we have a blast from the past. Do you remember this guy? He was a special representative, and his name was Her, and he had some interesting insights from his interview with President Biden, and it looks like President Trump is going to release the audio from that interview. But let's just take a look at what Special Agent Her, Special Rep Her, what his conclusions were from his time that he spent talking to Biden. Take a look.
My task was to determine whether the president retained or disclosed national defense information willfully. That means knowingly and with the intent to do something the law forbids. I could not make that determination without assessing the president's state of mind. For that reason, I had to consider the president's memory and overall mental state and how a jury likely would perceive his memory and mental state in a criminal trial. And because these issues were important to my ultimate decision, I had to include a discussion of them in my report to the Attorney General. The evidence and the president himself put his memory squarely at issue. We interviewed the president and asked him about his recorded statement. Quote, "I just found all the classified stuff downstairs," end quote. He told us that he didn't remember saying that to his ghostwriter. He also said he didn't remember finding any classified material in his home after his vice presidency. And he didn't remember anything about how classified documents about Afghanistan made their way into his garage. My assessment in the report about the relevance of the president's memory was necessary and accurate and fair. Most importantly, what I wrote is what I believe the evidence shows and what I expect jurors would perceive and believe.
There have been whispers and rumors that ladies out there want to have a more active role in the Catholic Church. The previous pope was asked about this, if women would ever become a deacon or a teacher or a priest or something like that inside the Catholic Church. His answer was just amazing, and it was shocking. It sent ripples throughout the theology of the Catholic Church. Let's take a look at his response.
For a little girl growing up Catholic today, will she ever have the opportunity to be a deacon and participate as a clergy member in the church?
No. The process of picking the new pope was happening just a couple days ago, and some of these ladies that want to have a presence in the conclave were showing up in force to send a message to the cardinals that they want to be included. They want to be part of the club. So let's see what they have to say.
A male-only conclave is a celebration of patriarchy. A Catholic church without women has never existed and never will.
Smoke out sexism! Smoke out sexism!
A woman's place is in the conclave.
Smoke out sexism!
God calls Catholic women to be deacons and priests.
Smoke out sexism!
It just so happens that we have one of the ladies there from that massive protest. She's with Ordained Women, an organization that I guess just popped up out of nowhere. But let's see what she has to say. Hello, Lisa. Yes, are you there? Okay, good. Yes, okay. I just have really one question. What was the purpose of all that pink smoke that you guys were putting up in the air?
That they will see the pink smoke over the Vatican, and they will know that women are sending a clear signal that they cannot go in with 133 men deciding the future of the Catholic Church without half of that Catholic Church.
Major breaking news, a new pope has officially been chosen.
Oh, shocking turn of events. I am so sorry, Lisa. It looks like you're not going to be part of the conclave anytime soon. But let's get just a little bit more information about the new pope. I can't believe I'm saying this, but can you give us some more insight, Mr. Sisson?
We just learned that Cardinal Robert Prevost is revealed to be the new pope. He's also the first American to assume the role. He's a native of Chicago. He's also chosen for his papal name to be Pope Leo XIV. He's 69 years old, and he's also a graduate of Villanova University in Pennsylvania. So an American being elected as pope. I don't think anybody really saw this coming.
I can't believe I'm saying this as well, but thank you, Harry, for that information on the new pope. Let's take a look at the new Pope in all of his splendor and grandeur. Let's take a look. I'm not Catholic, but I think it's pretty cool that he is from America. You know, Trump said that it's going to be in golden age, and it is coming to pass. It's America first, and we do have our first American Pope. Hello, that's awesome. And he's from Chicago, so I guess that means the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl this year. I mean, it's got to be, right? It's written in the heavens.
I'm not trying to make a mountain out of a molehill here. I just think it's a little shitty because everyone's going to look at Trump, and I'm not trying to stand up for Trump, and I'm not trying to attack Trump whatsoever. But, you know, I think everyone's going to be jumping on this bandwagon where these companies are just going to blame Trump and take advantage of a situation just like they did with COVID. There's no reason to put tariffs on American-made items. You see what I'm saying? So for them just to jump on the bandwagon and then turn around and blame the administration is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The American people have power, and we need to start asking these questions. Now, I might get an email back, and they might be like, hey, this is why we did it, A, B, and C. And I might be like, you know what? You're 100% right. I completely agree. Absolutely. But I just think this is COVID all over again. So now everyone is going to try to chime in and price gouge literally everything, and they're going to turn around and blame Trump. So everyone's going to think Trump is the problem. Again, I'm not here to stand up for him. I'm not here to attack him whatsoever. We need to hold these businesses accountable. They're jumping on a bandwagon, it seems like. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that young lady has a really good point. We need to really pay attention to the media. I think she's right. I think there's going to be a lot of companies out there that are going to take advantage of this tariff chaos and start jacking up their prices for absolutely no reason, but blame it on President Trump. So we need to watch out for the gaslighting, my friends.
Ilhan Omar says that white men are responsible for most of the deaths in the United States. So let me get this straight. 69% of the people, I'm stuck on that number, I don't know, but 69% of the people going to vote are white. Of that, 48.5 are males. So, I don't know, my rough math is 33%. Let's go out and piss off 33% of the people that vote, and that's a smart strategy. And the people that agree with her. There are people that actually agree with her. And I think these, honestly, I think these people are more trouble than they're worth.
Holy cow, is James Carville being red-pilled? That suspiciously sounded like common sense coming out of his mouth. And speaking of common sense, there's a lot of people out there on the left that say, oh, there's no such thing as guys trying to get into women's sports. It just doesn't happen. Well, it does happen, and it's still happening. And there's a young man that is absolutely taking advantage of this system, and he is tearing up, I guess, the world of softball. He's a pitcher in a girls' league. Check it out.
Meet Marissa Rothenberger, a male pitcher absolutely dominating girls softball in Champlin, Minnesota.
And the pitch. Rothenberger back in the fifth. Swing and a miss here first. 0-2 pitch. Strike three.
Rothenberger, at 6 feet tall, appears to tower over his female competition. In this game on May 6, 2025, he threw 7 strikeouts and shut out the opposing team. Apparently, Rothenberger's batting against average is .128, meaning opposing girl players only hit 12% of his pitches, which is considerably better than elite MLB players. He recently had an absurd 14 strikeouts in a single game. What was really amazing was listening to the dense male announcers as they gush about Rothenberger's wingspan and how hard he throws it.
See how she whips it? The long arms is just such an advantage.
Wow.
The whip action of that long arm for Rothenberger.
He's a boy, guys. Get it? He's male. And it's cheating. Stop gushing. The male coach who coaches Rothenberger was gushing too.
Our pitchers do a phenomenal job. We have Marissa Rothenberger. They keep us in every game.
What's not to like about having a male ringer on the team? Except it's cheating, of course. Rothenberger is apparently hoping to get recruited onto a women's softball team in college somewhere, and I found his profile on recruiting sites. But hopefully this helps expose the cheater before he can cheat any more girls out of their opportunities, scholarships, and victories.
Riley Gaines,
You're the
and
guy
nice
from,
to meet you.
I thought you were the guy from fucking South Park. I thought you were the motherfucking Terrence and Phillip. That's who the fuck I thought you were.
Well, you seem pleasant. Are you married?
Are you married?
Was your mom married?
Are you married?
Because I got a call from the doctor. She missed her fucking abortion.
Oh boy! Oh,
You seem so sweet. Does anyone love you in your life?
Charlie, you seem so fucking stiff and white. Do you have a stick up your ass?
Is there something wrong with being white?
Charlie, is there something wrong with a stick in your ass is what I'm asking.
I'm enjoying this whole thing you got going on.
Hey, Charlie, I'm enjoying this whole fucking parade, this whole charade of American. I am enjoying all this bullshit. I love you, Charlie. You're the best comedian. You're the best fucking comedian on.
Do you want a hat?
You're the best one.
She wants a hat. Can you wear it?
Gotta love Charlie. USA! I think the guy in this next clip has some really, really good advice that maybe we should all take a listen to and maybe start incorporating into our lives. I think things are just too hectic, and sometimes we just need to slow down and take a breath. Let's listen to what he has to say. Let's take a look.
You think you have to do something every second of the day? And if you're not, you feel guilty, you feel lazy, you feel like you're falling behind? That's not ambition. That's conditioning. You were raised in a system that worships productivity and shames rest. A system that taught you your worth is measured by how much you achieve, produce, or check off the list. So now, when you finally stop, when you finally slow down, your nervous system panics because it's been trained to believe stillness equals failure. But the truth is, doing nothing is not nothing. Silence heals. Stillness restores. Rest is sacred. You don't need another podcast. You don't need to multitask your walk. You don't need to be doing all these different things. You just need to be fully present, alive, in this moment, without a goal, without a reason, just here. Because your soul doesn't thrive in noise. It awakens in stillness. And when you stop trying to prove your worth by doing, you finally remember your worth by being. That's the moment you're free. That's the moment you wake up.
Well, that guy is totally right. I think you sometimes need to just calm yourself, be quiet, because the soul does not like noise. It manifests itself when you have that calmness, that peacefulness, that quiet that he was talking about. You know, call it meditation or whatever you want. It's something that I think more of us should start to try to incorporate into our lives. I think we'd be better for it. And on a side note, I do not think we need to be like that dude who I hope was not just standing there naked in a forest. I don't think we need to go to that extreme, but hey, you do you.
A certain segment of the black community is upset with me and my post about the Shiloh Hendricks situation, comparing it to the Carmelo Anthony situation with the GoFundMe. But I'm not the one you should be mad at. You should be mad at yourselves, because you caused this. And one thing you need to understand,
I don't think I did,
is America is getting tired of unchecked black supremacy, constant bigotry that is accepted in our community and perpetuated to everybody in this country. And people are tired of it. And as many times you blame everybody else, white supremacy, white people, the Indians, the Asians, everybody, the Puerto Ricans, everybody, it's everybody's fault. But we don't look within.
No.
You're mad at white cops for patrolling your neighborhoods where there's crime. You ever wonder why you don't see a lot of black cops anymore really patrolling those neighborhoods? That's because they don't want to. They know how that segment of the black community is. They want no parts of it. We all know the type of families that we come from. Crab in a barrel mentality that never takes responsibility for anything. And those poor white officers got to sit there and take that crap. You know, if it wasn't for those good black folks who really can't get out of those communities, who are trapped, police wouldn't even be there.
Probably
they wouldn't
not.
patrol it. Y'all police yourselves. Y'all eliminate and exterminate yourselves because that's what the Democrat Party want. That's why they keep it quiet. That's why they keep your extermination quiet. You wonder why Planned Parenthood is in your communities? You wonder why your children are being over-sexualized? Wonder why black men can't coexist with black women and vice versa? You wonder why there's no cohesiveness within the family? Once you start to ask these questions, then you'll start to understand that there's an actual problem. But we haven't gotten there yet. Because you don't want to have the conversation. So we can never come up with a solution. And that's why when those of us make some money and get some sense, we get the hell out of there.
Listen, I don't think some of you have realized what's actually happening yet. Donald Trump isn't destroying America.
No.
He's destroying the illusion. The illusion that has held your belief and reality together for the last 50 plus years. But there was a problem with that. It was a lie. And you're still desperately trying to hold on to it. So you're lashing out. You can resist what's happening.
I'm not.
That's your choice. You have the freedom to choose that. But I promise you this. Nothing can stop what is coming. And it's only going to get worse if you try to resist. Because what's crumbling around you is never, ever coming back.
Good.
Have a great day.
Now, if you paid attention, Trump hit their ass with the Tupac song.
He did?
They said, Trump, is there anything they can do to drop the tariffs? He said, no. They said, why? He said, that's just the way it is.
I guess.
Oh, shit. Trump is so fucking gangster, bro. Hey, it's like a breath of fresh air to have an alpha male in charge again. Golly, man, this motherfucking Donald Jacques Trump. That motherfucker, damn, boy.
That last clip really showed me that sometimes I might be a little bit too white. I know who Tupac is, but if my life depended on it, I would not have known that quote that President Trump said was from Tupac. So, yeah.
This is your quick reminder that the U.S. is one of 2 countries who voted against making food a human right.
Okay.
And we're currently in a political climate where people are fighting against free school lunches for children.
Who? The Democrats?
Children. Not only are you voting against making food a human right for, like, everyone, you're saying that you would allow children to starve.
I never said that. No, you're wrong. You're wrong on that.
I hope you know that makes you a monster.
Oh, gosh. No, I'm not.
You and I will never be friends. If that's something that you're fighting against for children, regardless of their economic status or their parents' economic status, to go hungry.
No. That's not
That is
me.
like monster level behavior. That is irredeemable behavior.
I would kind of agree.
It's like 100% guaranteed that those people go into church on Sunday.
Oh boy, okay, I see what she's saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Food is a human right. Children should be able to eat. Everyone should be able to eat. Nobody should go hungry. We have enough food in the world that people should be able to eat.
I agree with that. Yeah,
Period.
it's true.
End of discussion. Have a great day.
You too.
If you're not willing to risk being sent to El Salvador
why would
for
you?
Speaking out against this administration.
What? That's not how that
You're
happens.
literally part of the group of people that we all used to talk about when we learned about World War II and the Holocaust, and we were like, gosh, why didn't anybody do anything? That's happening now.
Always about the Holocaust.
So if you're not willing to speak up and you're not willing to risk it, you don't deserve the biscuit. You gotta risk it for the biscuit. The biscuit in our situation is democracy and continuing to have freedom and the right to be who you are.
I don't know what she's talking about, but the First Amendment does not end up with you in jail for any reason whatsoever here in America, because that's the whole point of the First Amendment. You can speak out against whatever you want and not have to worry about it. So get a clue, lady.
Gang cases, 3,000 cases against violent.
Well, that's not my question. We know that you.
Well, you asked if I was weaponizing the FBI, and I am not. I'm giving you the hard, concrete examples of the men and women putting handcuffs on bad people, doing harm to our children and innocent Americans. I do not see weaponization.
You have placed on leave FBI employees responsible for the investigation of January 6th. That sounds political to me.
I have not placed anyone on leave who has not violated their ethical obligation or their oath to the Constitution.
So if they were investigating January 6th, you believe they were violating an ethic obligation?
Nope. I think the common theme here is you putting words in my mouth, and I'm not going to tolerate it, nor will the men and women of the FBI.
Well, you did place on leave an analyst responsible for investigating Russia's meddling in the 2016 election. Is that politicization? Is that retribution?
No, not if she broke the law or the ethical guidelines. I don't know which case you're talking about, but that's the standard. And we will hold ourselves inwardly accountable, and we will not be strayed from our mission because people think we are politicizing the Bureau. If you want to talk about someone who was attacked by a weaponized Bureau, you're looking at him. And now he's the director of the FBI, and he's cleaning it up.
Well, I would just say to everyone who's listening that the FBI needs to be focused on its mission to keep the entire country safe. It should not be weaponized for partisan political gain. Thank you,
We are.
Chairman.
Senator Kennedy.
I think it's pretty funny that these Democrats are super freaked out that Cash and President Trump and Bondi, that they're going to weaponize DOJ and the FBI and everything that they actually did during the Biden administration. They're absolutely terrified that it's going to happen, and that beast is going to be turned onto them. And it's particularly funny when Senator Patty Murray, when she was talking to Cash, and Cash was like, yeah, I think the big deal, the biggest problem here is that you're putting words into my mouth. And the look on her face, she was just like, oh, I've never, how dare you speak to me that way? It was pretty funny.
When does human development begin?
It's going to be at conception.
So then shouldn't our laws then protect the first possible moment of human development?
That would make
Why should
sense.
Well, because it's a human life.
No, you're just telling me what the human is. So you're not telling me like why they should deserve rights.
So why murder is bad? Like, do we need to do that discussion?
You're gonna have to explain as to why like abortion is gonna be the unjustified unaliving.
Well, I personally think murder is wrong is pretty intuitive, right?
Yeah, it's intuitive, but you're gonna need to tell me why abortion fits within that unjust category.
Why?
Okay, because you're your own unique deoxyribonucleic acid at the time of conception.
DNA.
Yes, DNA. Thank you. If a being is going to get sentience in a couple of weeks, shouldn't you allow that being to continue to develop?
After it's born?
No. In utero.
In utero, no. I don't find it to be morally considerable before sentience.
Oh, got it. So you can eliminate anything even though it's growing towards sentience. Just so you know, when a baby is born, your mental faculties of a baby are not completely sentient. Like, for example, when a baby is 5 days old, they're only awake like 2 hours a day. They can't speak. They cannot really reason. In fact, a brain is not fully developed until a boy is 30 years old.
True.
So what I'm saying is that the growth of the human being continues all throughout this process. The abortionist argument is that we are going to interfere with that development because of some convenient, it's too hard to raise the human being. We as pro-lifers believe that in the essence of a human being is your value and your worth. And you do not become more human because your IQ is higher or less human or if you have Down syndrome. The spectrum does not work that way. You're equally human all the way through.
Court decision requires the administration to facilitate Kilmar Abrego Garcia's release from El Salvador. Can you describe the steps that you have taken to facilitate this release? And specifically, can you answer as to whether you have reached out to your counterpart in El Salvador to facilitate Mr. Abrego Garcia's release?
Abrego Garcia is a citizen of El Salvador and should never have been in this country and will not be coming back to this country. There is no scenario where Abrego Garcia will be in the United States again. If he were to come back, we would immediately deport him again because he is a terrorist, he's a human smuggler, and he is a wife beater.
You've read the Supreme Court decision. Does the Supreme Court decision not require you to facilitate the return of Mr. Abrego Garcia?
The Trump administration is complying with all court orders and judges' orders.
Does the Supreme Court order require you to facilitate the return of Mr. Abrego Garcia?
Is a citizen of El Salvador. It is up to the president of the El Salvador to make the decision.
You're a defendant
on
in
if
the
he
case.
is coming back. It's been a big topic of conversation between all of us, between the country. When the president visited the United States of America, it was discussed and talked about there. The president has been very clear on this issue, as the Secretary of State and I have as well. Abrego Garcia is not a citizen of this country and is a dangerous individual who does not belong here.
I will not ask another question, Madam Chair. But the discussion,
we would immediately
but the discussion ends when the Supreme Court rules 9-0 that you have to facilitate his release. And the fact that you can't even acknowledge
you are facilitating his return.
Sir, Senator, thank you for the question. But what I would tell you is that we are following court orders and that your advocacy for a known terrorist is alarming to me.
It is shocking to me that these Democrats just cannot give up on the idea of bringing back the Maryland Dad. But hey, good news. It looks like Disney Plus might be coming out with something that could satisfy their fix. And they can watch all the Maryland Dad they want. Take a look. Well, I think Disney Plus has a massive hit on their hands. Everybody from the left is going to be watching it, so that show is definitely going to do well. That's so stupid.
I sincerely hate Donald Trump, and it is what it is. But, either we have a constitution that we're going to follow or we don't. And if you're a Trump supporter or Donald Trump, these people think that they have far more power than what they actually do. The Congress and the money comes from the American people. The wealthiest states in this country are blue states. And today on Capitol Hill, Kristi Noem and Kash Patel were like, listen, we're going to defy the Supreme Court. We're not going to get the people back from El Salvador. Okay, so then you don't get our tax dollars anymore. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Seriously. Use force? Send in the military? Good luck with that. Good luck with that. This is where we're at. Either we have a constitution or we don't. Good luck getting our money.
Well, of course, the answer is we do have a constitution, and, you just seem to be this little fat ball of hatred. I'm so sorry that you seem to actually hate another human being. That's a horrible place to be in life. You have TDS, my friend, and you need some help. Maybe you need a detox. Roll tape. It's time for Dave's Detox. Nice. All right. Oh. You know what? I have a cat in a bag. That's not good. Oh, yeah. Playing a little hide and seek. Nice. Oh, hey, buddy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, you just missed it, buddy. Oh, nice. Living life. Living life. Oh, okay. You're just missing it, my friend. Okay. Ooh, I wonder what's in the package. Oh, hey. Hey, buddy. Oh, geesh. Ow, yeah. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, man, what a waste of pizzas. Oh! Oh, what? Hey there, buddy. You okay? You see? You okay? I'm not sure what that cat was looking at, but it was something pretty fascinating. Well, hey, listen, that wraps it up for today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please like, subscribe, slap that bell around, tell your friends about Idle Hands and what we're doing here. I'd love to have you on board and part of the community. And until the next episode, stay safe. Know that you are loved and appreciated. And until we meet again, have a great day.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear.